Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And today we're going to go into the book of Judith, the 11th chapter. Then said Holofernes unto her, Woman, be of good comfort. Fear not in thine heart, for I never heard any that was willing to serve Nebuchadnezzar, the king of all the earth. Now therefore, if thy people that dwelleth in the mountains had not set light by me, I would not have lifted up my spear against them. So if they hadn't tried to resist against me, try to, pass me off as though I'm some regular man, I would not have set up this army to go against them. They would have been all right. But they have done these things to themselves. So they brought this upon themselves. But now tell me, wherefore thou art fled from them, and art come unto us? For thou art come to safeguard. Be of good comfort. Thou shalt live this night and hereafter. So, first tell me what's going on. Why'd you leave them? Don't fear, don't worry, you're gonna be good. Nobody's gonna hurt you. For none shall hurt thee, but entreat thee well, as they do the servants of King Nebuchadnezzar my lord. Then Judah said unto him, Receive the words of thy servant, and suffer thine handmaid to speak in thy presence, and I will declare no lie to my lord this night. And if thou wilt follow the words of thine handmaid, God will bring the thing perfectly to pass by thee, and my lord shall not fail of his purposes. So she's saying, I have something to say to you. If you follow my plan and what it is that I say to you, you're gonna be able to completely be successful without fail. As Nebuchadnezzar, king of all the earth, liveth, and as his power liveth, who has sent thee for the upholding of every living thing. For not only men shall serve him by thee, but also the beasts of the field, and the cattle, and the fowls of the air, shall live by thy power under Nebuchadnezzar and all his house. She's saying, look, you're going to have such great success if you follow what I'm going to say to you, that not only are you going to have the men or people under your control, you're going to have even the animals bowing to you. For we have heard of thy wisdom and thy policies, and it is reported in all the earth that thou only art excellent in all the kingdom, and mighty in knowledge, and wonderful in feats of war. So she started buttering him up, gassing up his head, flattering him. Now as concerning the matter which Achior did speak in thy council, we have heard his words, for the men of Bethulia saved him, and he declared unto them all that he had spoken unto thee. So, all the things that you spoke about with Achior, he told us. Therefore, O Lord and Governor, respect not his word, but lay it up in thine heart, for it is true. So she's saying basically, don't make light of what he said. Take it seriously because it's actually true. For our nation shall not be punished, neither can sword prevail against them, except they sin against their God. That's the only way. That's their weakness. And now that my Lord be not defeated and frustrate of his purpose, even death is now fallen upon them. Okay, so basically, don't be stressed. Don't worry about it, because they're already going downhill, and this is why. And their sin hath overtaken them, wherewith they will provoke their God to anger, whensoever they shall do that which is not fit to be done. For their victuals fail them, and all their water is scant, so they barely have any water left. And they have determined to lay hands upon their cattle, and purpose to consume all those things that God hath forbidden them to eat by his laws. So they're planning with how hungry and desperate they are to basically eat abominable things or even lawful things in abominable ways, like eating the blood of the animal. You're not supposed to do that. And she's saying, when they get desperate enough, they're going to do that. And once they do that, God is going to turn his back on them, and they're yours for the taking. And are resolved to spend the first fruits of the 10th of wine and oil, which they had sanctified and reserved for the priests that serve in Jerusalem before the face of our God, the which things it is not lawful for any of the people so much as to touch with their hands. So even the The first fruits that is sanctified for the priests, which the common folk are not to touch, they've they've said in their minds they're going to eat that because that's how hungry they are. For they have sent some to Jerusalem, because they also that dwell there have done the like, to bring them a license from the Senate. So basically, they sent messengers to Jerusalem. Since those at Jerusalem have already started, violating this law, they're going to get permission from them so they can do the same in their cities. Now, when they shall bring them word, they will forthwith do it, and they shall be given to thee to be destroyed the same day. So at that point, they're going to lose their protection and they're going to be a prey. Wherefore I, thine handmaid, knowing all this, am fled from their presence, and God hath sent me to work things with thee, whereat all the earth shall be astonished, and whosoever shall hear it. So the Lord, she said, because of this, I knew this was about to happen, so I fled, because I know that as it says, God has sent me to work things with thee, whereat all the earth shall be astonished. So he sent me over here because the things that you're going to do is going to be shocking basically to the whole world. For thy servant is religious and serveth the God of heaven day and night. Now therefore, my Lord, I will remain with thee, and thy servant will go out by night into the valley, and I will pray unto God, and he will tell me when they have committed their sins. So she's saying, look, I'll dwell with you, but you got to let me go and pray every night. And when the time is right, when they've committed their sins, God will let me know, and I'll come and tell you. And I will come and shew it unto thee. Then thou shalt go forth with all thine army, and there shall be none of them that shall resist thee. So none of them will be able to stand before you. And I will lead thee through the midst of Judea until thou come before Jerusalem. And I will set thy throne in the midst thereof, and thou shalt drive them as sheep that have no shepherd. So I'm gonna lead you right to the heart of them, and you're gonna have that dominion and control over them. Like a sheep, they're gonna be like sheep that have no shepherd, and a dog shall not so much as open his mouth at thee. So you're gonna be so, so dominant, so strong, not even a dog will bark at you. For these things were told me according to my foreknowledge. So this is what I saw when I, basically what I foresaw concerning this place. And they were declared unto me, and I am sent to tell thee. Then her words pleased Holofernes and all his servants, and they marveled at her wisdom, and said, there is not such a woman from one end of the earth to the other, for both beauty of face and wisdom of words. They're like, damn, she got brains and beauty. Likewise, Holofernes said unto her, God hath done well to send thee before his people, that strength might be in our hands, and destruction upon them that lightly regard my Lord, that is Nebuchadnezzar. And now thou art both beautiful in thy countenance, and witty in thy words. Surely if thou do as thou hast spoken, thy God shall be my God, and thou shalt dwell in the house of King Nebuchadnezzar, and shall be renowned throughout the whole earth. So basically he was just saying, look, this is great news. This is amazing news. And shit, if this comes to pass exactly as you said, I'll worship your God, for having brought this great victory. And that brings us to the end of the book of Judith, the 11th chapter. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Recha Kodesh. And until next time, Shalom.